Many years ago, there lived on the banks of a lagunada by a poor fisherman whose wife had died, leaving him two beautiful daughters named Mangita and Larina. Mangita was as good as she was beautiful and was loved by all for her kindness. She helped her father mend the nets and make the torches to fish with at night, and her bright smile lit up the little nipa house like a ray of sunshine. Larina was fair and had long golden hair of which she was very proud. She was different from her sister and never helped with the work, but spent the day combing her hair and catching butterflies. She would catch a pretty butterfly, cruelly stick a pin through it, and fasten it in her hair. Then she would go down to the lake to see her reflection in the clear water and would laugh to see the poor butterfly struggling in pain. The people disliked her for her cruelty, but they loved Mangita very much. This made Larina jealous, and the more Mangita was loved, the more her sister thought evil of her. One day, a poor old woman came to the nipa house and begged for a little rice to put in her bowl. Mangita was mending a net, and Larina was combing her hair in the doorway. When Larina saw the old woman, she spoke mockingly to her and gave her a push that made her fall and cut her head on a sharp rock. But Mangita sprang to help her, washed the blood away from her head, and filled her bowl with rice from the jar in the kitchen. The poor woman thanked her and promised never to forget her kindness, but to her sister she spoke not a word. Larina did not care, however, but laughed at her and mocked her as she painfully made her way again down the road. When she had gone, Mangita took Larina to task for her cruel treatment of a stranger. But instead of doing any good, it only caused Larina to hate her sister all the more. Sometime afterwards, the poor fisherman died. He had gone to the big city down the river to sell his fish and had been attacked with a terrible sickness. Her sister only idled away her time. The terrible sickness spread everywhere, and poor Mangita also fell ill. She asked Larina to nurse her, but Larina, jealous and cold-hearted, did nothing to ease her pain. Mangita grew weaker each day, until one evening the door opened and the old woman, whom she had once helped, entered quietly. In her hand was a small bag of seeds. She gave one to Mangita, who soon showed signs of recovery, though still too weak to speak. The old woman then handed the bag to Larina and said, "Give your sister one seed every hour until I return." Then she left them alone. Larina watched Mangita, but did not give her even a single seed. Instead, she hid them in her long golden hair and ignored her sister's moans. Mangita's cries grew fainter, and Larina, consumed with jealousy, secretly wished her to die. When at last the old woman returned, Mangita was near death. The visitor bent over her and asked Larina if she had given the seeds as told. Larina showed the empty bag and lied that she had done so. Suddenly the room filled with dazzling light. When Larina opened her eyes, the old woman had vanished, and in her place stood a radiant fairy holding the now healthy Mangita. She clapped her hands, and elves appeared, taking the struggling Larina away.